The men aboard the Iranian patrol boats had every reason to believe they were invisible. Moonless night, no navigation lights, no radio transmissions. Their mission was simple: reach the shipping corridor, deploy naval mines, disappear before dawn. Nearly a fifth of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz every single day. A disruption here doesn't stay local. It ripples across energy markets, shipping costs, and economies thousands of miles away. For decades, Iran has built its military strategy around that reality. If conflict ever came, geography would be their greatest weapon. But there was one problem. 7 miles above the water, an American P-8A Poseidon surveillance aircraft was quietly watching. By the time the first mine hit the water, a targeting process was already underway. The operation wasn't unfolding in secret, it was unfolding under observation, and that reveals the question at the center of this entire story. Can Iran actually shut down the Strait of Hormuz, or has every advantage Iran spent decades building already been matched by an American countermeasure? Because the real American advantage isn't a bigger fleet, it isn't more missiles, it's information, the ability to detect, identify, and respond faster than any opponent can act. To understand why that matters, you first have to understand the battlefield itself. On a map, the Strait of Hormuz doesn't look especially dramatic. At its narrowest point, it's only about 21 nautical miles wide. But ships don't have the freedom to spread across the entire waterway. They travel through designated lanes, one inbound, one outbound, a narrow separation zone between them. Enormous amounts of global commerce funneled through a remarkably small corridor. Iran has studied this constraint for decades and built an entire military strategy around exploiting it. The northern coastline overlooks the waterway. Mountain ranges provide natural concealment. Missile launchers can be hidden in valleys. Underground facilities protect critical assets. Then there are the islands: Keshm, Larak, Abu Musa, each one extending surveillance coverage and providing staging grounds deeper into the strait. Fast attack boats, naval mines, anti-ship missiles, everything designed around one objective: make passage dangerous enough that any opponent thinks twice before entering. On paper, it's a formidable position, but it depends on one critical condition. It assumes Iran can act without being detected, and that's where the entire equation begins to change. Modern warfare isn't won by who has the strongest position, it's often won by who sees first. The American surveillance architecture in the region is layered: aircraft patrol overhead, satellites observe from orbit, maritime tracking systems follow vessel movements, underwater listening networks fill in the gaps. Each system provides only part of the picture. Together, they create something far more powerful: a constantly updated understanding of what's happening across the entire battle space. When a vessel changes course unexpectedly, analysts notice. When a radar system activates, operators notice. That's why the mine-laying operation was so significant. It demonstrated a larger reality. Darkness no longer guarantees concealment. Distance no longer guarantees safety. The moment an action begins, a race has already started. The race between detection and execution. And that's a race the United States has spent decades learning how to win. But detection alone doesn't stop an attack. That's where electronic warfare comes in. Before strike aircraft enter a defended area, electronic warfare platforms disrupt the enemy's ability to see them. Radar systems rely on accurate information. Interfere with that information and the picture degrades. Targets disappear, tracks become unstable, decisions become harder. If surveillance creates awareness, electronic warfare creates freedom of action. Together, they drive what military planners call a kill chain. Detect, track, target, engage, assess. The faster that chain runs, the less time an opponent has to react. Even with aircraft countered, Iran holds another card that has worried military planners for years: naval mines. They're not glamorous, they don't dominate headlines. But a relatively inexpensive mine can threaten a warship worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And unlike missiles, mines don't chase their target. They wait. Historically, clearing minefields was slow and dangerous, but that battlefield is changing. Modern countermeasure systems increasingly rely on unmanned platforms. Autonomous vehicles search dangerous areas. Sensors identify threats. Remote systems investigate without putting any crew at risk. The same pattern appears again. Every threat meets a specialized response. Which brings us to one of Iran's most discussed tactics: fast attack boat swarms. Instead of a few large warships, Dozens of small boats attack simultaneously from multiple directions. The goal is saturation. Force defenders to track too many threats at once, overwhelm their ability to respond. It's a concept that looks unpredictable on paper, but modern sensors track multiple contacts simultaneously. Attack helicopters and strike aircraft can engage targets at significant distance. Detection, tracking, response. The pattern keeps repeating. The most difficult target in the region isn't a boat or a missile launcher on the coastline. It's something buried inside a mountain. Underground facilities provide survivability that surface targets can't. Hardened sites complicate military planning, and the assumption has long been that if something is buried deeply enough, perhaps it simply can't be reached. But military planners rarely stop at identifying a problem. They focus on solving it. Specialized munitions have been developed specifically for hardened targets. Weapons designed to penetrate concrete, rock, and reinforce structures before detonating. Even the mountain has an answer. Every advantage creates a response. Every obstacle triggers a solution. So, can Iran close the Strait of Hormuz? Iran absolutely possesses tools capable of causing serious disruption. Mines, missiles, fast attack craft, geography, underground infrastructure. None of these should be dismissed. But the American response was never designed to eliminate one threat at a time. It was designed to manage many threats simultaneously. That's the key distinction. The advantage isn't a single aircraft or a single ship or a single weapon. It's the network connecting all of them. Sensors, analysts, communications, aircraft, ships, weapons, all operating as parts of a larger system. Because in modern warfare, information often matters more than firepower. Knowing first, understanding first, acting first. Those advantages compound over time, and when they do, geography becomes far less decisive than it once was. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the most strategically important waterways on Earth. That hasn't changed. What has changed is the technology shaping the battlefield. Darkness no longer guarantees invisibility. Distance no longer guarantees safety. Geography no longer guarantees victory.